So let's go to Sunday night. Let's go to Bound for freaking fracking Glory, where there's a lot of weird matches on the card. I'm looking at it.
I think it's an interesting card. It's got
I didn't say it's not
different.
interesting. I just said there's a lot of weird matches, but it's Impact.
There's a good variety of like different matches on there that I think kind of caters to different kind of fans.
So
I think it's been a well-built card so far, and I think it'll probably be one of Impact's better cards as usual. Like this is a sold-out crowd at the Chicago Odeum place, I believe is where they're at.
Here's the thing: Impact never has a problem putting on a good card. It's whether they actually make sense and deliver. So, with that said, the first contest listed is a 3-way tag team match for the World Tag Team titles. It is the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, defending against Rich Swann and Willie Mack, and then defending against Rhino and Rob Van Dam? That's random. That's cool, but it's random to see those guys in a tag team match right now. Off top of my head, I haven't seen anything. I can't wait for them to be on Access. I want to go Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
I think it's going to be Ethan Page and Josh Alexander because they've been a tag team before. Josh made his debut on Impact, but on a national level, I think they're just kind of getting started at becoming one of the best tag teams in the world right now. It's going to take some time, of course. As we saw with like LAX, it's like they came in as unknowns and eventually became one of the best tag teams in the planet. But I think following their absence, I think Ethan Page and Josh Alexander have definitely stepped up their game against the likes of LAX and Willie Mack and Rich Swann and the ECW guys. So I kind of would like to see them kind of keep the reign going with this one.
All right. Caesar, I want your explanation on this one. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Gauntlet match where the winner could choose any championship match of their choice.
It's essentially like, it's kind of like the, remember when they did that Bound for Glory Battle Royal? The one that, what's his name won?
Tyrus?
Yeah, Tyrus and Eli won, where they got to name whenever they would get the title match.
Oh, sure.
So it's essentially that. I think it's any championship. So they have, I believe there aren't any.
That's basically a version of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Here's is it because Impact's been doing some intergender? Are the women in there too?
It'll be interesting to see if they will include them in there because there's only 3 women booked for the show.
Yeah, because I can picture Jordan Grace tossing some people out.
I can see Rosemary being in this one as well because I believe on the latest Impact there's a battle royal with some intergender wrestling in there that I believe Shira won.
So, next match with... Wait, did you say Shira won?
Yeah, Shira. Don't you remember this was that match that had Shira, Eddie Edwards, Rosemary, Jordan Grace?
Words I never thought I'd hear. Shira won.
Shira won a match against Rosemary. That's just kind of want to throw that out there for a couple of friends of ours.
That's about word as it gets.
For that battle royal, I'm just kind of giving a prediction because I could see a match like that being one for the big babyface win.
Right.
So I would kind of I think Falaba could kind of be someone that wins that match because I think he's one of the more over baby faces they have. Another prediction I could kind of see for that battle royal is kind of seeing Eddie Edwards win, and he kind of gets inserted into a future match that we're going to discuss later on.
Which we're going to discuss it right now. It is which I hope Eddie doesn't put himself in this match because he's losing if he does. It is the intergender ladder match for the Impact X Division Championship, where Jake Christ defends against Tessa Blanchard, Daga, Ace Austin, and a to-be-announced, which I guess is to be announced this coming Friday night on Impact.
Yeah, there's one more qualifying match between a local independent talent in Sabu. So I kind of could see who's going to be put in that match. Yeah. Liv's excited for Sabu to be in this one.
All right, before Caesar gets back, I want to go back to Slammiversary, where they had Tessa lose to Sami Callihan in the main event, and then she had to lose to him again to qualify for this world title match. You, Impact, why did you have to make Tessa lose twice? Why are you going to build her up as this great, big, intergender wrestling person, and then you're going to have her lose twice? No. It was stupid storytelling.
I do agree at the time, but I kind of feel just seeing the way this will play out, because they're still keeping that story alive on Impact. Of course, with the association with Jake Chris, I can see happening is that I feel at the end it's going to be her kind of getting this X Division championship and cashing in option C.
But again,
kind of going for the world championship.
But again, yeah, I imagine she's going to win this, and suddenly option C will be taking place in November. But that has nothing to do with her losing to Sami at Slammiversary. She could have beat him at Slammiversary. He could have cheated to beat her in the number one contendership match, and we'd still be on the same path we're on now.
Like, I agreed at the time. At the time, I thought definitely, she should have won either one of those matches. But if there's like a bigger story to tell of her revenge, I can kind of like stomach it just this way.
We'll see. Option C for Tessa Blanchard. Going with the Knockouts action. It is Taya Valkyrie defending the Knockouts Championship against Tenille Dashwood. So, are they going to do the, ooh, it's our shiny new object from WWE and let's give her a belt?
I don't think so. It's going to be interesting because it's like there's a lot of like speculation about like how long Tenille Dashwood's contract with Impact is. Last I heard, it ran until Bound for Glory. So it'll be interesting to see if, like, whether or not, because they've done this with multiple talent before. I think Rob Van Dam's contract ended at Slammiversary, but they decided to continue working together. So just because her contract, presumably, that's kind of like the report from PW Insider, it ends at Bound for Glory. They could still always come up with a deal to kind of extend it. But I think...
Is that how RVD was signed to Impact? He showed up on Raw Reunion?
Pretty much, but yeah, I was like right on the same time too. But I think this one, because they're telling the story with Rosemary and Taya, and I think that's a match they can most definitely go to again. So I think Taya is definitely going to get the win on this one, and kind of getting another victory against another competitor with credibility. Because like just looking at the women's roster, I think Impact, that's one of their greatest strength, is that they probably have one of the best women's division in wrestling right now.
Then we have a 6-man tag team match. The Rascals versus Team Lucha Underground. Dr. Wagner Jr., Aerostar, and Toros.
Yeah, this is, I'm thinking Team AAA is going to get the victory on this one. I don't think Dr. Wagner Jr. is coming into Impact to take a loss to the Rascals, especially considering the Rascals kind of lost the match to Shira's group on Impact last week, so they didn't really do them any favors there. So I think
Shira got another win.
He's been getting a lot of victories lately.
Shira getting all these wins?
Because he's one of the best talents that they have on Impact right now. So he's no, none of that. No more. That's done. It's a more serious Shira now.
That's gotta break your heart.
No, I mean, hey, it's like sometimes, you got to realize business is business. You can have fun some other time, but when you're in that wrestling ring, it's all business, man.
All right, Liv, you've been quiet. I want to hear your thoughts on Taya versus Tenille.
I'm not a Tenille fan, so I'm Taya all the way.
Okay. Let's see here. We have a singles match between Michael Elgin versus Naomichi Marufuji.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tease me. I'm the one naming the names here. Next time you can name the names, Liv.
I will. I don't care.
Okay, fine.
I'm just not doing intro.
All right. I got really nothing for that one. I feel like Michael Elgin's going to get the win because he's the unbreakable Michael Elgin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of those wins for Michael Elgin. And it'll probably be a good match, but it's going to be Elgin getting the victory.
Caesar, I hate you because I just saw the next match and this damn thing got back in my head. Ken Shamrock versus Moose, bitch. Get out the way.
Bitch, get out the
way. uh,
Uh,
this this is an interesting one. Moose has kind of been playing the legend killer gimmick ever since beating Rob Van Dam at the Slammiversary pay-per-view, and
you
I don't
think of
know.
legend, a moose.
Hmm?
Because when you think of legend killers, you think of moose.
Yeah, but I
no, I don't.
but just seeing Ken Shamrock, I mean, the dude looks in incredible shape. Like he's just, you know, it is, you know, it's been like how long since I think he's been wrestling, so that's going to be an interesting thing. But just seeing him throwing those punches at Moose last week on Impact, kind of like this one is best to be kept short, and it's going to be interesting to see. Like I can kind of see Moose getting the win on this one, but it depends on like if they want to keep working with Ken Shamrock, as I've heard they probably want to keep working with him. Although I think his performance is going to kind of dictate what they do with him later on, but. I think this is one for Moose to get the victory on.
Moose wins. It's just not clean.
Yeah.
All right, and your main event scheduled for one fall.
One
At least hopefully one fall and not a no contest or a DQ or something like that bullshit. It is Brian Cage losing the Impact World Championship to Sami Callihan.
Spoiler alert.
I agree.
That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, because I think eventually, like I mentioned earlier, I think the main story for Sami Callihan going forward is him losing to Tessa, and I think it'll be interesting to see because, like, you know, I do think the next time Sami Callihan and Tessa have a match, I think Tessa's definitely getting the win, but that also would mean Tessa would have to win the World Championship. So I don't know. I don't know if now would be because I could see it probably being the next pay-per-view in January.
I'm about to say, Caesar, it's going to be 2020. A woman can be world champion.
I agree. It's just that, I mean, like I said, they've done a good job of kind of keeping Tess as one of not just their main woman star, but just their main star overall within the company. She feels like the face of Impact right now. I think she's got a lot of momentum going, and I think, you know, it will be interesting to see, you know, how they carry that going forward with her being a world champion.
All right, and that is it for Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory.
So I think it's an interesting card. I think, like I said, there's a lot of variety for different kind of fans. Of course, you have your intergender wrestling, you have your ladder hardcore matches, you have your tag teams and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a pretty solid card this Sunday, especially in front of a great crowd in Chicago as well, sold out crowd. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this one.
We'll see how sold out their sold out crowd is. So, yeah, that's all I got. Liv, do you have anything else you want to add for any company, any way, in shape or form?
I don't know. No.
Personally,
one thing. For everybody watching, we need to stop the hate on little wrestlers.
Aww.
Marco Stunt proved himself within a whole hour before the show that he is a professional and he's really good at what he does. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Liv says stop hating the little people. Size doesn't matter, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they can go and he kicks some ass doing that flippy dippy shit.
It's the heart.
It's not the size of the dog, but the size of the heart in the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, anyway. My personal note, I've been enjoying the Wednesday Night Wars. I have AEW and NXT running at the same time. I am highly entertained during these ones. I've also enjoyed WOW, Women of Wrestling, on Saturdays. That's a good one, kind of a good little studio one. Everyone is praising NWA and their return. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Caesar, you want to go ahead and give us a closing?
Let us close this one out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for another week of Wrestling Talk. We hope you enjoyed the content that you just watched, and if you did, kind of give us oh, you already, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the, yeah, just sub right there. Yeah, there you go. But thank you for, like the video too, just the thumbs up. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Oh, I see you're writing a comment. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, man, or lady, whoever you are. But please, as well, kind of follow us on our socials as well, at WRR Network FL, at WRR Network on Instagram, at Wrestling Reality Rundown on Facebook. You can follow us individually, Red Standard, at the Red Standard, Live1122, and SKF Effect. And we hope you guys, like Steven said, just enjoy the wrestling that's being presented to you. Don't waste your time hating on some of the wrestling that there's out there because, like, there's just so much for you to enjoy. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we will chat with you next week with some sort of chatter, whatever happens in the news. So we'll speak to you then. So, goodbye.
Not everybody.